Hello, my name is Kristen. Thank you for joining me for today's yoga practice. Today's practice is going to be a 60-minute intermediate flow that's going to really focus on our sacral chakra. That's our second chakra located between our tailbone and our navel, right about here. It's associated with the color orange, and its element is water. The sacral chakra is our pleasure center. It's connected to intimacy, our creativity, our ability to experience the joys of life. So grab any props that you need, grab your yoga mat. If you'd like to put on some music, go ahead and do so. And as you start to settle into your mat in a comfortable seated position, just start to close down your eyes, soften your gaze, and just start to bring the awareness to your breath. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. This is your prana, your life force energy. Every inhale, imagine filling your lungs with clean, vital life force energy. And on every exhale, release any stagnant energy, any thoughts that don't serve you for today's practice. Remember that at any point in our practice, you are more than welcome to take any resting pose, savasana. You can come to child's pose, whatever you'd like. Listen to your body. I'm just here to guide you. This is your practice. Let's start to bring the awareness to our inhales. As we inhale, let's inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for that count of 5. Hold and exhale for a count of 6. As you're sitting on your mat, bringing your awareness to your breath, pay attention to how your body feels. Are your shoulders over your hips? Is your spine long and tall, reaching the crown of your head up towards the sky as your sit bones root down into your mat? Really push your heart through your shoulders, expanding your chest, engaging your back muscles. If you'd like to set an intention for today's class, now is a perfect time to do so. And let's go ahead and take 3 cleansing breaths before we really start to get into our practice. We're going to inhale through our nose and a forceful exhale through our mouth. 2 more times. And then start to settle back into your breath, the breath that'll move you through each posture. On your next inhale, you can flutter your eyes open. Inhale, arms rise, gaze rises. Exhale, drop your right hand to the mat as your left hand reaches up and over. Keep your left sit bones really grounding into the mat so you can get a stretch in that left side body. And make sure that we're not peeling our left hip up. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, drop your left hand as you reach your right hand over, really rooting down through your right sit bones. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, right hand plants. We're going to do this a few times on each side and just move with your breath. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hand plants and off to the side. Really taking a moment to connect our breath to our movement. Let's go ahead and go 1 more time to each side. And then we'll all meet up with our arms up, gaze up. Right hand to left knee, left hand kickstands behind you, really opening up through your shoulders, getting a nice stretch in our spine, crown of our head shoots right up. Let's take 3 breaths right here. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, exhale. Left hand to our right knee, right hand kickstands beside us. Really opening up through our chest, getting a nice twist in our spine. Our gaze is over our right shoulder. One more breath right here. Inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Let's take 3 breaths right here. And we're gonna go ahead, inhale, come back up to a seated position, head, neck, spine are in alignment. And we're gonna make our way to a hero's pose. So we're gonna come to our knees, our feet kick behind us. You can take a block if that's a little bit more comfortable for you. You can go ahead and sit back on the block, whatever works for you. We're gonna go ahead, we're just gonna take 5 breaths in our hero's pose. Really sitting tall, long. Your hands can rest on your knees. They can rest down beside you. Whatever works for you. And then from here, we're going to take the palms of our hand and we're going to lean forward into our tabletop position. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. We're going to go ahead and engage our belly button, pull our navel to our spine. Crown of our head shoots forward. And then we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to sit back, coming into fire toes. So really getting a good stretch in our feet right here. So sitting back on your heels. This is a very intense pose, so we're just going to be here for 5 breaths. If you need to come out of it at any time, go ahead and do so. Listen to your body. And on your next breath, we're going to take the palms of our hands. We're going to come back down into our tabletop and go ahead and shake out those feet. And then we're going to go ahead and find stillness, really rooting down into the ground, pulling our navel to spine, shoulders are strong, wrists are underneath our shoulders, crown of our head shoots forward. From here, we're going to take some cat-cows. So we're going to drop our navel towards the mat as we lift our gaze out in front of us. And then as we exhale, we're going to tilt our pelvis in, put our navel towards our spine, arch our back, bring our gaze between our knees. Inhale to your cow. Exhale to cat. Go ahead and take a few cat-cows at your own breath, your own pace. Feel free to take any fluid movements you'd like. You can always look over one shoulder and then the next. You can do some barrel rolls, whatever works for you. And then we're all going to meet back in our neutral spine, tabletop position. On our next inhale, we're going to ground down in our left hand, raise our right arm up towards the sky. Right arm plants next to our left, tuck your toes, and come into your down dog. Full round of breath right here. We're going to go ahead and drop to our knees, back into our tabletop, untuck our toes. Left arm reaches towards the sky. Left hand plants. Tuck your toes, And go ahead and shoot up into your down dog. We're just warming up our body here. Exhale, release back into our tabletop. Inhale, arm rises. Exhale, arm planks. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, tabletop. Same thing on the left side. Use your breath. We're going to do this one more time on each side. Left arm rises. Left arm plants. Shooting up into our down dog. Now from here, let's go ahead and pedal out your feet a little bit. Bending your left knee as you straighten your right. And then bending your right as you straighten your left. It's okay to have your heels off the mat. Ears are by our biceps, long and strong in our spine. And then we're going to go ahead and find some stillness. Take a full round of breath right here. And on your next exhale, come back down into your tabletop. Put your toes together, knees to the outside edges of your mat, and sink back into your child's pose. We're going to take some fluid movements right here. So we're going to be in our child's pose. Inhale, exhale, come on up into an up dog. Full round of breath. And on your exhale, sink back into your child's pose. Inhale, coming up to your up dog. Exhale, child's pose. Let's go ahead and do this 3 more times. Your pace. And then we're all going to meet in this up dog position. And then from here, we're going to drop our legs to our mat and sink our navels to the ground. Hands are underneath your shoulders. And from here, slide your hands out in front of you so your forearms connect to your mat. We're going to come into this slight back bend, Sphinx pose. Gaze is out in front of us. Let's just take a moment here to just stretch our neck a little bit. Take a few nods up and down. Yes, I'm so happy to be here on my mat, showing up for myself. And then let's take our neck stretches to the right and the left, shaking our head no. No, I will not set any unrealistic expectations on myself today. And then we'll come back to our Sphinx pose, head, neck, spine are in alignment, gaze is out in front of us. Let's take 3 rounds of breath right here. And from here, we're going to lower ourselves onto our mat, place our hands underneath our shoulders, tuck our toes, and come back up into a tabletop position. We've got a neutral spine, navel to spine here, really engaging our core muscles. Our gaze is slightly out in front of our fingertips. Careful not to drop your neck. Spreading wide in your shoulders, nice and strong, not sinking in. And from here, we're going to raise our right arm off the mat and then our left foot. And we're just going to breathe here for 5 breaths. If you need to go ahead and put your knee down at any point in time, you can. One more breath. Now from here, plant your right hand next to your left And then take your left foot, cross it over your right. Let's just get a nice little calf stretch right here. You can find stillness or you can rock side to side. And then we're going to come back, bringing our left leg back behind us, our right arm forward. And we're going to take 5 crunches, nice and slow and controlled, using our breath to move us. One more. From here, right arm comes out, left leg is back. Then bring your left leg to the side, planting your foot down on the ground, and your right hand comes next to your left. Really engage your core right here, recenter yourself. And from here, we're gonna raise our right arm up. And then as we exhale, we're gonna thread the needle, bringing our right ear towards the mat. Left hand can stay under your shoulder or walk out in front of you. You can always choose to take a half a bind here, whatever works for you. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to plant our left hand under our shoulder. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Exhale, right hand meets next to left. And we're going to sink back into a half child's pose here. Reaching our hands straight out in front of us. Hips are sinking towards our heels. Inhale, come up. Bring your left foot back behind you, keeping it off the ground. You have the option here to put a block under your hand to bring the ground closer to you. We're going to bend our left leg. You can stay right here, or you can take your right arm, reach it around, and take a nice little quad stretch. Beautiful job. And then we're going to go ahead and release. Right hand plants, left knee plants. We got to do the same thing on the other side. Left hand raises, right leg kicks back. We're going to hold for a count of 5. Stay for your exhales. We're going to drop our left hand next to our right, kick our right foot back behind our left. Nice little calf stretch here. Your gaze can come over your left shoulder. Beautiful job. And let's go ahead and bring our right leg back. Hips are square. Left leg rises. We're going to take 5 crunches here using our breath, slow and controlled. Left hand plants, right leg kicks out to the side, planting your foot on the ground. Left hand rises, thread the needle. Left hand comes under right, reaching towards your right foot, left ear to mat. You can keep your hand under your shoulder, walk it out in front of you, or go ahead and take a half bind. And then we're going to plant our right hand back underneath our shoulder. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, left hand plants. And let's go ahead and sit back into this half child's pose, sinking your hips towards your heels, reaching the palms of your hand out in front of you. On your next breath, we're going to go ahead and come back up. Shoulders are over our wrists. We're going to bring our right foot back behind us. Remember, you always have the option to put your right hand underneath a block. We're going to go ahead and bend our right knee, take our left hand out, reach behind for that calf stretch that's in your practice. we're gonna go ahead, release that bind, come back into our table. Let's go ahead and tuck your toes and then sit back again, stretching out your feet into those fire toes. We're just gonna take 3 rounds of breath right here. And on your next breath, let's go ahead into our tabletop position. Feet out those feet. And then go ahead and tuck your toes and shoot your hips up to your down dog. Ears are by your biceps. Your tailbone is shooting up towards the sky. Heels are reaching towards the mat, but it's okay if they don't touch. You can have a slight bend in your knees. And on your next breath, let's go ahead and walk our feet to meet our hands at the top of the mat. And then we're going to slowly roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Head, neck, shoulders, last to come up, palms facing forward, toes to touch, heels apart. Take a few breaths right here in mountain pose, whole body's engaged. Kneecaps are pulling up towards your thighs. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart center as we forward fold. Hands come to the mat, half lift, forward fold, plant your hands, walk, step, or hop back. This is your first vinyasa. You can take knees, chest, chin to up dog. Or you can take knees, chest, chin to cobra, or you can do your half push-up to your up dog, to your down dog. And then we're gonna just take a few breaths right here in your down dog. Right leg rises, keeping your hips square. Right knee to nose 3 times. And on that 3rd time, bring your knee to your nose, hover, and then plant your right foot in between your hands. You're in this low runner's lunge. Again, you can take a block underneath your left hand if you choose. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, right hand plants. And we're going to start to turn towards the left side of our mat, toes facing forward into this forward fold. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands to our hips, this half lift. And then we're going to come on up. Heels together, toes out, 5-pointed star. Bringing our hands to heart center, we're going to sink to the right, the side lunge to our right leg. Left heel grounds down as your toes point up. You can bring your hands to the mat, to blocks, to heart center. Taking 3 breaths right here. Now from here, we're going to plant our hands, plant our back foot, and start to walk our hands back to the front of our mat, coming back into our runner's lunge. And then we're going to step our left foot to meet our right, and we're going to sink right down in the chair. Inhale, come on up to our mountain pose. We're going to flow through another vinyasa. Remember, you always can skip or take any variation that you'd like. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold, hands plant, walk, step, or hop back. Knees, chest, chin to cobra, or half push up to chaturanga. Into your up dog, into your down dog. Let's take 2 rounds of breath right here. Left leg rises, keeping your hips square. Left knee to nose 3 times. On that 3rd time, hold your knee towards your nose. Plant your left foot between your hands. You can always bring a block underneath your right hand to bring the mat a little closer to you. And then from here, we're going to twist. So we're going to plant our right palm into a block or the mat. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our left arm up. Left hand comes back down. We're gonna frame our foot. And this time we're gonna walk our palms to the right side of the mat this time. Coming into our wide-legged forward fold again. You can grab your ankles, your feet, your calves, whatever you'd like. On your next breath, we're gonna bring our hands to our hips, come up into a flat back, hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, heels together, toes apart, 5-pointed star, and then we're gonna sink down into that side lunge, the front of our mat again, but this time to our left foot. Right heel grounds down, right toes point up. Hands can be in prayer. You can bring them down to the mat, whatever works for you. Let's take 3 breaths right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and plant our hands on the mat and walk them back towards the left, coming back into our runner's lunge. You guys are doing wonderful. We're gonna step our right foot to meet our left. Sink your hips into chair. Beautiful job. Inhale, come on up, mountain pose. Let's flow through our vinyasa. 1 breath, 1 movement, your own pace, and we'll all meet in downward dog. Now that we're all in down dog, we're gonna raise our right leg, but kick our right hip over our left into a scorpion tail. Make sure you're really grounding down between your right hand and your left so the weight is evenly distributed. And then we're gonna take our right knee to our right elbow and then come back into a scorpion tail. 2 more times. And then on that 3rd time, we're gonna hold right knee, right elbow, plant your right foot outside of your right hand. Now from here, ground down in your left hand, lift your right hand up. Beautiful job. Right hand plants. You're back in this lizard lunge. Now from here, bring your back foot flat on your mat, parallel with the back edge, or keep a slight 45-degree angle, whatever feels better for your knees. And then we're gonna lift our left hand up. Left shoulder stacks over right. Now we're gonna start to rise into our warrior 2. Gaze is over our right hand. Shoulders are over our hips. Front knee is bent. Beautiful job, long and tall, strong warriors. From here, flip your front palm and exalt. Back to our warrior 2. Flip your front palm and exalt. Back into your warrior 2. From here, we're gonna bring our right arm to our right knee. Left arm comes up, shoulders stacked. We're in our side angle. Now let's go ahead and bring our left hand back behind us and then reach it up and out in front of us. Extended side angle. Ears are by your biceps. You can stay right here, or you can bring your right hand down to the mat or to a block. There's a straight line of energy from your pinky finger to your pinky toe. And then you can choose to stay there, or you can take the half bind, or if the full bind is in your practice, you can take the full bind. From here, we're gonna go ahead and release the bind, come back into our warrior 2. Now from here, straighten your front leg and walk your back foot so your feet are only about 3 feet apart. And then we're going to reach our right hand out as our left hip pulls back. And then we're just gonna hinge into our triangle pose. Careful not to lock out your front knee. Keep it nice and soft. Option to stay right here, or if you'd like, go ahead and grab your block. Bring your block out in front of you. Set your block about 6 inches from your right toes. We're gonna lift off our back leg, stacking our shoulders, stacking our hips, keeping our neck long and strong in line with our spine. Beautiful job. Half moon, wonderful pose. Now from here, bend your right knee, set your left foot down, come up into your warrior two, pivot to the ball of your back foot. You're in your crescent lunge. Exhale, bring your hands back down into lizard where you started. Step your right foot back, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, into our up dog, into our down dog. Take 2 rounds of breath, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Left leg rises, left knee, left elbow, 3 times. But we're gonna come back, raise that left leg, and come into our scorpion tail. We forgot it. Don't worry, I won't make you do left knee to left elbow again. Square off those hips. We will just bring our left foot outside of our left hand. Beautiful job, we're in our lizard lunge. You have the option to stay here if you'd like, if you just need to take a breath. Or we're gonna plant through our right hand as we lift our left arm up. Taking that side twist. Beautiful job. Left hand plants next to our left foot. From here, come down flat on your back foot. You can keep that in line with your mat, bring it to a slight 45-degree angle. And we're gonna start to peel our right hand up towards the sky and come up into our warrior two. Shoulders are over our hips, gaze is out in front of our fingertips. Nice 90-degree bend in that front leg. Beautiful job. Flip your front palms and exalt. Back to our warrior two. One more time and exalt. Back to our warrior two. Now from here, we're gonna bend our left arm, left elbow to left knee. Right arm shoots up. Shoulders are stacked. Gaze can be up or down, whatever works for you. Now from here, we're gonna bring our right arm so it's pointing towards the back of the room, and then we're gonna loop it up and over. So our bicep comes towards our ear. We have a straight line of energy from our pinky finger to our pinky toe, extended side angle. You have the option to bring your left hand to the ground, and you can take that half bind or a full bind if it's in your practice. We're gonna stay here for about 3 breaths. And then we're gonna come out of that, come back into our warrior two. If you need to make any adjustments, go ahead. And then we're gonna straighten the front leg as we step our back foot a little bit closer, so they're about 3 feet apart. Left hand forward, right hip back. When you can't go any further, go ahead and hinge at those hips, coming into your triangle pose, Trikonasana. You're doing a wonderful job, you've got this. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and bend into our left leg. Right arm can come to our left arm can come to a block out in front of us. We're coming into our half moon. Shoulders stack, hips stack. Our back foot is planted like it's walking on the wall behind us. Toes are pointing out. Beautiful job. And then we're gonna go ahead, back into our warrior two. Strong warriors. Pivot on your back foot, hips forward, arms forward. Exhale, bringing our hands back down to the mat in our lizard lunge. And this time, we're gonna step our right foot outside of our right hand. And we're gonna come into a Malasana squat. You have the option to sit on a block. Whatever works for you. Hands are at heart center in prayer. Elbows are pushing against our knees. And from here, we're gonna go ahead and shoot up. Arms up, heel toe our feet back underneath our hips. Bringing your hands to heart center and back down to Tadasana. We're gonna flow through one more vinyasa and then start to cool down our body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, step, or hop back. Go ahead and flow. And we'll all meet in our downward dog. From here, right leg rises, stacking your right hip over your left, doing your scorpion tail. Go ahead and stay right here, or if you'd like, flip the dog. And then we'll all come back to our three-legged dog. Now you have the option to come through another vinyasa with me, a little three-legged vinyasa. So shift your shoulders over your wrists. Come down, chaturanga, and up, and back. Right knee to nose, or to right elbow. Plant your right knee near your right wrist. Left ankle kicks towards your left wrist. And we're gonna sink into our pigeon pose. You have the option to take a block, stick it underneath your hip. You can always stay right here where your hands are grounding down into the mat, or go ahead and sink to the mat or to a block, whatever feels good for you. We're gonna be here for about 3 breaths. And we're gonna go ahead, remove our props, plant your hands underneath your shoulders, come to the toes on your left foot and start to kick your hips up. Right leg rises, right foot plants next to your left. You're in your down dog. Left leg rises, scorpion tail. Remember, you have the option to stay here, or if you'd like, go ahead and flip your dog, wild thing. And then we're gonna go ahead, come back over, three-legged dog. Remember, you can stay right here, or if you'd like to flow through a little vinyasa right here, keeping your one leg up, you can go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna bring our left knee to our left elbow, planted as we kick our left foot towards our right hand, sinking down into your pigeon pose, pushing your heart through your shoulders. Remember, you can use blocks. You can stay up or you can sink down towards your mat. Beautiful job. We're gonna go ahead, plant our hands underneath our shoulders. This time, let's sink onto our left hip as we swing our right foot around. And we're gonna keep our left foot hugging the inside of our right thigh. Inhale, arms come up, twist, so you're over your right leg. And on your exhale, go ahead and forward fold. You can grab your foot to your ankle, your calf, or just let your hands hang, whatever works for you. And let's go ahead and roll up. We're gonna kick our left foot out as we bring our right foot to hug our left thigh. Inhale, arms up. Make sure you twist so you're over your left leg. And on that exhale, go ahead and forward fold. And you can go ahead and roll up. We're gonna kick both of our feet out in front of us. Just shake out your legs for a second. We're gonna make our way down to our mat, but before we do so, we're gonna take a boat pose. So you're gonna plant your feet, walk them in as close to your sit bones as you possibly can. And then you're gonna take your hands behind your thigh and start to hinge back, keeping your back flat. You can stay right here. You can lift one foot or the next. You can choose to go into that full expression of boat, lifting your feet up, your arms up. Beautiful job. Hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug everything in. And then let's slowly roll down to our mats. We're gonna take bridge pose. We're gonna do this 3 times. On the 3rd time, option for wheel, whatever works for you. So you can take a supported bridge for the whole time if you'd like. So what that would look like is you would take your block, hold that in your hands as you walk your feet close to your sit bones. So your heels are really almost touching. And then you're gonna push up, hips towards the sky. You're gonna put your block right underneath your low back and buttocks. Coming into that bridge pose, supported bridge. Make sure there's no stress in your low back, okay? So you've got the supported bridge right here. Shoulders are connected towards the mat. Heart is pushing through. Or you're gonna take your hands, plant them on your mat, and not using a block, just shoot your hips up. And you always have the option to make fists, grab your hands underneath, and just hold for about 5 breaths. And go ahead and release. Remember, if you're staying in that supported bridge, go ahead and stay there. We're gonna take bridge 1 more time, or 2, or you can take that wheel. So go ahead, inhale, shoot your hips towards the sky. Remember, your hands can stay planted on the mat. Your knees are pushing in towards one another. You can always make that fist. One more breath, and then go ahead and release. Option to stay in that supportive bridge. Take 1 more bridge, or coming into wheel, bringing your hands up by your ears, fingers pointing towards your shoulders, grounding down into your feet. Start to lift up into that wheel, full expression. And when you're ready, slowly come down. And then let's go ahead, and no matter where you are, let's hug our knees into our bellies. Maybe we lift our head and neck off the mat, give ourselves a good hug. And then we're gonna go ahead and release, planting our feet back down to the mat. Arms come to a T here. We're just gonna take a moment to windshield wiper our legs back and forth. And then on your next breath, let your legs fall to the left as your gaze goes to the right. And then your knees come back up and your knees drop to the right as your gaze goes to the left. And then we're gonna bring our knees back pointed towards the sky, feet are planted. And then we're just gonna knock our knees together, letting them kind of fall in to touch one another. Let's just take a few breaths here, kind of reset our spine. And then we are going to extend our legs. And we're going to bring our arms down by our side, letting your feet fall open. And we're going to come into Shavasana. If there's any final poses that you would like to take before we settle into this, please know that you're welcome to do so. But if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start to relax our bodies. Unfurrow your brow. Unclench your jaw. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your head, neck, and shoulders sink into the mat. Let your arms, your hips, your thighs, your feet sink and relax. And just settle into your breath. When it's time, I will call you back. Let's start to bring the awareness back to your bodies. Maybe you start by wiggling your toes, rolling out your ankles, wiggling your fingers, and rolling out your wrists. Go ahead and roll to one side of your body. Taking a moment here to pause, to breathe. Placing your hand on the mat. And just thanking yourself for showing up. When you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up into a comfortable seated position on your mat. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. Take a moment here to offer yourself love and gratitude. Offer yourself grace. We can bring our hands to our third eye, top of our head. May you think only happy thoughts. Bring your hands to your mouth. May you speak only kind words and lower your hands to your heart. May your day be filled with lots of love. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope you have the most beautiful, blessed day.